All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're here with another episode of Everyday Evals, a series where I look through different players' game tape, basically analyze, break down these players and how they're doing so well, they're breaking out and all this stuff. Today, we're talking about Lauri Markkanen because he has been having an insane start to the season. He's been one of the top scorers in the NBA, and today we're going to break down how he's doing it, how he's been playing so well, and why he's so unique from a lot of the other guys that are putting up the numbers that he does here today. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, doing all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So today we're talking about Lauri Markkanen, evaluating him because man, has he had just an insane start to the season. He got paid big bread not too long ago. Last year was not a good year for him. Last year was one of his worst seasons in a long time. Numbers wise, game wise, efficiency wise, just he wasn't great. And he's responded big with a huge start to the 2026 season. Look at his numbers so far to start the year. He's averaging over 30.5 points per game with 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He's shooting 48% from the field, 38% from three, 88% from the free throw line. The points, assists, and steals are all career high numbers. Yeah, he has been one of the best scorers in the NBA to start the season. I mean, averaging 30 points per game. He has been just absolutely hooping out of his mind recently. He's on a stretch right now where he's had 4 games in a row of at least 30 points. He has been just really hooping. First, I want to dive deep into the numbers, and then we're going to get into the game tape later. I'm going to have bookmarks. If you want to just go right to the game tape, you can just go right to it. But talk about the numbers first of all. Now, all these numbers are updated without the Laker game last night. Last night they played the Lakers. He dropped 31. These numbers aren't updated to that day. These are updated with the 3-game streak he had before the Laker game, where he had 35, 40, 47. He has a 113.1 offensive rating, which is up from 111.4 last season. A 62% true shooting percentage. Last year was 57%. And interesting thing, too, is his usage rate is the highest of his career. He has a usage rate of a 28.2. And his All-Star year back in 2023, he was a 25.9. So he's being used a lot more. Look at the shooting. He's shooting 21.5 shots per game, which is a career high. Back in his All-Star year in 2023, he only took 17. So he's been a lot more aggressive, and they've been drawing up a lot more plays for him to get shots. 9.6 three-point attempts is also a career high. Back in his All-Star year, he took 7. Last year, he took 8.5. And this year, he's taking over 9.5. And his free throws are a career high as well. 6.9. His All-Star year, he took 6. Last year, he only took a little bit less than 4 free throws per game. He's gotten almost 3 more free throws more this year than last year. So you can just tell he's been more aggressive, hunting his shot more. They've been drawing up a lot more plays for him. The ways how he scores, he averages almost 4 points off turnovers per game, which is top 25 in the league. Averaging almost 4.5 second chance points per game, which is 8th in the league, and averages over 12 points in the paint per game, which is tied for 9th in the NBA. So he's doing it in a lot of different places. Look at his shot attempts and how he scores in the distribution. 55% of his shot attempts are twos, which is the second most in Utah, only behind his All-Star year in 2023, where he's 55.4%. So he's been a lot more aggressive in the 2-point shot. Last couple of years, he's been standing behind the line a lot more, which this stat, he's shooting 45% of his attempts from 3, which is his 3rd most in Utah. Last year, 57% of his attempts were 3-pointers. So over half of his shots last year were 3s. This year, it's more balanced at a 55-45 rate. So he's been a lot more aggressive in getting to the rim. 42.7% of his 2-pointers are... 42.7% of his points are 2s, which is the 2nd most in Utah, only behind his All-Star year, which almost 44% of his points were 2s. He's also not taking the mid-range a lot as much. A lot of his buckets have been either in the paint or from the 3-point line. Only 2.5% of his points are mid-ranges, which is his lowest since being in Utah. It was 3.9 in his All-Star year in 2023. So he's cutting out the mid-range game. Free throws, 20.4% of his points are free throws, which is 2nd highest in Utah, only behind his All-Star year, which is 20.6%. So he's getting close to those numbers. He's scoring a lot in the paint as well. Over 40% of his points come in the paint, which is a career high for him. His All-Star year in 2023, it was 40%. Now it's 40.2. So he's getting to the rim a lot more, and I like that a lot more. He's not just settling. Last year was a lot of settling. He just wasn't really as involved in the game plan as we thought he would, And again, he only played 47 games last year, 19 points per game. Like, it just wasn't a good year for him last year. And this year, he's really come to play. And one of the most interesting and unique things about Markkanen and what makes him so insane to me is that he's a guy that can put up 30 while he doesn't need the ball in his hands. He's not really a like your typical shot creator. Like usually if you're averaging 30 and you're putting up numbers like Lauri Markkanen has, you're getting buckets, you know? Especially now in today's NBA where usually a lot of teams roll out, all right, your best player gets the ball and he's kind of the main ball handler and he gets everything. You know, guys like Shea, Luca, Tatum, Paulo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, a lot of guys like you're our best player. Here, take the ball. You're the lead ball handler. You make something happen. Marketing is not like that. Marketing is not a guy that needs the ball in his hands to score. He's honestly one of the more, you know, like deadly off-ball players we have in the game right now. Like obviously you have Steph Curry is number one. He's in a class of his own. There's no one that can touch Steph Curry. But Lauri Markkanen is one of the more like effective. I don't need the ball in my hands to go get buckets type players. And these stats show you right here. 77.6% of his 2-pointers are assisted, which is a career high. Back in his last year is 65.8. So 77.6%. So almost out of every 10 shots he takes, 8 of them are going to be assisted almost. So like he's just really running the system. 93.9% of his 3-pointers are assisted, which is the second lowest actually in Utah. Last year, 100% of his threes were assisted. Now it's 93.9. So the 3-point shot, he's not going to go out there and create from 3. He's just going to run around, come off screens, catch and shoot, and knock him down. And overall, 83.6% of his field goals made are assisted, which is second most in Utah. You All-Star year in 2023 was 75%. So 83% of his shots are assisted shots. So it's insane, And he also accounts for 34.6% of Utah's field goals as a team, which is a career high. Last year was 23.7. So it just knows that he's getting buckets efficiently. And yeah, catch and shoot, he's one of the most deadly, he's maybe the most deadly catch and shoot player right now in the game. He's averaging 11.2 catch and shoot points per game, which is leading the NBA. 11 points per game off catch and shoot. No one else, I think, has cracked double digits. Overall, 3.8 field goals made per game, 9.3 field goals attempts. He's shooting 40% on catch and shoot shots. Specifically from 3, he's shooting 41% on catch and shoot threes this year. So, catch and shoot, he's not going to be down. And overall has almost a 60% effective field goal percentage on catch and shoot shots. So, catch and shooting, he does that, And then, again, getting in the paint, dunks and layups on field goals less than 10 feet, he's shooting 62%. So 40% 3-point shooter on catch and shoots. And also when he gets inside the paint, he's shooting 62%. So basically you can't really stop him right now from there. And again, this next stat kind of attributes to him not needing the ball in his hands. Because you look at this, when he takes 0 dribbles, he doesn't dribble the ball, just catch, shoot, which is 67% of his shots are no dribbles, shooting 50% from the field. Over 50.5% from the field. 65% from 2, 41% from 3 when he doesn't take a dribble. So when he catches it and fires it, it's basically going in half the time. When he takes 1 dribble, which is 13.2% of the time, he shoots 43% from the field, 50% from 2, only 14% from 3. So he's not 1 dribble from 3 is not great. From 2, he can do it. And it gets worse and worse as more dribbles. With 2 dribbles, he shoots 42% from the field, 46% from 2, 0% from 3. When he takes 3 to 6 dribbles, he shoots 38% from 2, 50% from 3. And when he takes 7 or more dribbles, he's only taken 2 shots with 7 or more dribbles, and he's 1 for 2. So, again, very, a guy that could score this much that doesn't need the ball in his hands. When he takes 0 dribbles, he shoots a 50% shooter. So he's an amazing catch and shoot. Look at when he gets guarded on tight defense, he shoots 48% from the field. Open shots, he shoots 41%. Wide open, he shoots 53%. And he's made 27 of his 53 wide open 3-point attempts. So basically, if he's open, he's knocking it down. And you look at his touches, he doesn't need the ball in his hand. When he has a touch that's less than 2 seconds, he shoots 49%. When he has a touch that's from 2 to 6 seconds, he shoots 44%. And when his touch is 6 or more seconds longer, he shoots 33%. He's one of the most unique stars we have in the league. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to make anything happen. You watch him play, and we're gonna get into the breakdown in a minute. Watching him play over this stretch, like he really, a lot of it is coming off of screens, catch and shoot shots, backdoor cuts. Like he's getting 30 easy. He's getting 30 without really needing to like carry the load and without needing to really like tire himself out and wear himself out. He doesn't need to score 30 by just give me the ball in the wing, let me ISO for 10 seconds, let me dribble, step backs, and dribble, get to the paint. He's getting 30 off literally just offensive movement. And we got to give a lot of credit to Will Hardy, the Utah Jazz head coach. I think he's one of the more underrated coaches in the league right now. and he is a great offensive mind. He sets up a lot of different things. He was doing this in his All-Star season as well. Just this year, it's more, I guess it's just at a higher rate, so the numbers are bigger. But Will Hardy's a great coach and putting, these offensive sets together. And you also got to credit Lauri Markkanen for being a guy that, is willing to accept this. A lot of guys that are saying like I can put up 30 usually are like, no, I want the ball in my hands. Like I want to make things happen. Like I'm the guy. I'm your best player. Lauri Markkanen looks like he's just cool with being like, hey, okay, I'll come off the screen. I'll set this screen. I'll go screen. I'll cut to the rim. I don't need to be the main. Like Keontae George could be the main ball here. I don't care as long as I'm getting my points. I'm cool. Like you got to give credit to him too for buying into the system and really trusting the work and being like, okay, I don't need the ball in my hands. I can still be a threat. And especially it's even crazier for him being a 7-footer. Like he's not just like a 6'7", 6'8" athletic wing that comes off back screens and dunks, or like a 6'6" like 3-point sniper, like that's just gonna come off screens and shoot all day. Like no, this is a 7-foot power forward playing like this, and that size just makes it so unique. Being a 7-footer that you know he doesn't really get affected by your contest, because he moves around so much, you can't really put a big man on him. Because if you put a big man on him, he's just gonna come off screens all day and shoot over him all day. But he's also athletic enough to be able to, get by him and get to the rim. If you put a smaller guy on him, he can just back down to the post and get easy buckets like that, and you're not gonna contest his shot. So he's kind of like a mismatch nightmare in a sense, with the way he plays, adding on to his size. It's just such a unique thing to watch. Like we don't really see guys like this often, you know? Like, and the things he's doing right now is amazing. So yeah, the games you're gonna watch are from the 3 games before last night against Indiana, Atlanta, and Chicago. Um, Over this last 4 game stretch, including the Laker game, he's averaging 38 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal on 56, 44, 88 shooting splits. Like you look at these numbers he's had. Last night dropped 31 against the Lakers on 12 for 21. A double overtime against Chicago, 47 and 7 on 15 for 33 shooting. Again, it gets Atlanta 40 and 7 on 15 for 25 shooting. Game against Indiana 35 on 13 for 19 shooting. And he's had a couple of games like this too. Like he had a stretch early in the year from game 2 to game 5 of the season where he had 33 on 12 for 23 shooting against Sacramento. He dropped 51 and 14 against Phoenix in overtime, 32 against Portland, 33 against Phoenix. So he's already had what, 8 30-point games this year, two 40-point games, a 50-point game. He has just been scoring crazy. So now we're finally going to get into the footage of how Lauri Markkanen is hooping. So here you go. I made this tape over this 3 game stretch against Atlanta, against Chicago, and against Indiana, where I saw the different ways he scores. And we're gonna break down the tape and show you how crazy he's been. So first, we'll start with the catch and shoot. Again, like I said earlier, 41% on catch and shoot threes. Catch and shoot, he's amazing. All right. So we'll get into it. First play. Just easy, simple, top of the key, bang bang. He comes down here. Look at all the space he has, in the middle of the floor. Him and Yusuf Nurkic also have a really good tandem. You're going to see a lot in these clips, that Yusuf Nurkic and him have a great connection. And Nurkic is a guy that finds him a lot of the time. But yeah, literally just so much space at the top of the key. Give it to me. Okay, pass it on me. I don't care. Boom. Don't matter. Contest doesn't matter. Next one in transition. Catch and shoot. Super simple. Just run it in transition. Keontae, good pass finds him. Versace's not ready. Okay, bang, 3-pointer. Good. Next one. Sit in the corner. Nurkic makes a great pass. Catch a shoot. Bang. Imagine having a 30-point per game scorer just sitting in the corner. Could just knock down shots like that. Insane. Sit in the corner again. Pick and roll. Keontae, great pass. Gets bumped a little bit, but hey, doesn't matter. Even if it's not catch a shoot. Like it's tapped by Giddy a little bit. Okay, reset. Bang. The contest doesn't matter. Move the ball around. Sense a ball. Incredible pass. Marking him. Bang, bang. In a clutch situation, too. Catch a shoot, he does it. It's simple like that. And then he works off that with his drives. He's athletic. Don't forget, he's not just a shooter. He's athletic, too. He can catch a body here or there. Pick and roll. Take it. Get to the basket. Smaller guy. Go up and one. And a lot of this is off his catch and shoot because, we know how good he is as a shooter. Nembhard steps up, Markkanen gets the ball, and he sees, oh, I got a 6'4" guard on me. I'm 7 foot. I have a lane. Give me the ball. I'm just going to do one dribble, body bump, feel the contact, go up, layup, and one. Simple. Simple basketball. Only took one dribble. Next one. We're on the wing. Catch. Johnson, tries to go gamble. I'm just go dunk it. You know, this is more on Jalen Johnson for trying to gamble, but he just gets it, sees a wide open lane, and says, "All right, I'm just gonna go to the rim, jam, easy." Okay. Next, we're trying to play fast. Keontae, give it to me. Get to the rim. Bang. You know, Versace just not in a great place. Versace didn't go down enough. Dyson tell him, "Hey, go get him." Versace's not in a great spot. Markkanen gets it, has the leverage on him. Get to the rim. Doesn't matter about your contest. I'm jamming it for and one. So he can catch and shoot and he can drive. Now this is what sets him. The off-screen shooting is really amazing. They do a lot of off screens for Markkanen. This play right here. We're in the corner. Cody Williams sets a little bit of a screen, come off the screen, bang. This is a 7-footer. A 7-footer coming off the screen to shoot a three like he's like Duncan Robinson. Just easy catch and shoot. Bang. You're not ready for it. And especially if you're a power forward. Like usually power forwards or guys that guard him aren't guarding a catch and shoot. You're usually guarding another power forward. You're guarding him. Usually they're the ones setting the screen for the shooter. You're not used to, as a power forward, like a Pascal Siakam, having to guard someone coming off of a screen to shoot. If he is coming off the screen, he's probably coming off the screen over here to like set another screen. He's not coming off the screen to catch and shoot. That's rare. You don't guard that. Next one. Just come around. Nurkic sets a screen. Catch a shoot. The contest doesn't matter. This play right here, where he's kind of sitting on the free throw line. Will Hardy's telling him, "Hey, go around, set the play. Okay. He's kind of like nonchalant a little bit, kind of like, "Oh, I gotta go set a screen," trying to maybe fake out the defender. Nurkic sets a big screen. Robinson, JRE kind of, I'm sorry, hit the wrong button. I went too far. All right. JRE kind of gets hit hard on the screen and tries to kind of like come around, I guess. I think he tried to go like over the screen and gives him just enough time to snipe it. Bang. Next play. We don't set a screen. We get a screen set. Great play design. 3-ball. Bang. So this one, it looks like he's going to set the screen for Ace. It looks like it. But instead, he doesn't. He sets a fake ghost screen that gets a real screen by Nurkic. Tony Bradley's kind of in this weird spot. He can't really move like that. He's like, "Damn, what do I do?" And Pascal basically shouldn't even contest it because Lauri just got to right up a shot. This game. Sitting there. Collier set a screen. One dribble. 3. Bang. So it looks like, they're going to do some action around here. He's telling him, "Hey, come around. But he's not. So he's like, "Hey, come set my screen. Set my screen." So Collier sets a little bit of a screen. Jalen Johnson and Nikhil have to communicate, be like, switch. Nikhil doesn't get out to the switch. Not a perfect pass. Bar Market has to do a one dribble, but it's all right. Bang, for 3. It doesn't matter. Come off the screen, shoot that ball. Next one. Kevin Love with the top of the key screen, handoff, 3-ball, bang. Just an easy play. So, man, shout out to old man Kevin Love. We're trailing a little bit. K-Love sees it. They're not expecting it. Set the screen. Buzelis goes under. Giddy's all the way off on Keontae. Keontae does a little handoff. And at this point, doesn't matter. As soon as he got the ball in that range, knockdown. The contest doesn't matter. He's a 7-footer. Doesn't matter. Next one. Nurkic sets the screen. Pops out. Bang, bang. Don't matter. We got a smaller guy, Isaiah Okoro guarding me. Vucevic can't really move like that. Nurkic sets a great screen. And Markkanen does a great job too, because instead of just going up, he comes up and then pops out because Vucevic is standing on the inside of Nurkic. So no way Vucevic is getting out here. So Isaac has to do all the work. And so by the time Isaac gets over there, the shot's already basically going up. It doesn't matter. Just, smart, taking advantage, catch and shoot threes. He just does it, Now cuts and off screens, backdoors. He's not just shooting off these screens. He's taking the most and making the most shots in the paint of his career too. And that's how he's getting a lot of these. Best play design. Look, so he's top of the key. Filipowski sets a little screen. Come off. Hey. Nice move right here. So top of this key, we got Jerace. We got JRE. Filipowski just sets a little bit of an off ball, kind of like backdoor screen. JRE has to try to, get all the way around it. I'm sorry, that's Isaiah Jackson. Not even. I thought that was Jerace Walker. That's Isaiah Jackson. My bad. Jerace is over here. Isaiah Jackson isn't even like paying attention to the screen. He doesn't even know it happened, it looks like. And so wide open lane, Markkanen gets it, and a beautiful Euro move. Beautiful, just Imagine like having the wherewithal to do that in the moment where he grabs it, takes one look, and just says, "Oh, hey, dunk, easy." Next one, on top of the key, center ball, sets it back down screen. Give me that jam. Too easy. We're 7 footer. Getting screen from a 6'5" guy. Jerace doesn't even pay attention to it. Jerace tries to go up and guard Bryce. Felpowski with an amazing pass. And Markkanen just gets the jam. Taking advantage. Next, we're in the corner. Waiting. Fakes backdoor. Layup. And one. It looked like he was going to come set a screen. It looked like Keontae was going to go set the screen. Dyson Daniels caught lacking a little bit. Dyson Daniels just sitting, waiting. He didn't expect. He looked like he thought a screen. They're going to try to, Keontae was going to set a screen. Markkanen was going to come off and shoot it or try to drive it. They say he's like, nope, backdoor. Give me that. And one. A great pass from Nurkic, too. Him and Nurkic have a connection there. Next one. Markkanen sets a screen. Then he fakes it. Backdoor. So he already sets one screen right here. And so it looks like, Jalen Johnson and Dyson are ready to communicate, like, hey, switch, or whatever. Lauri says, nope. Dyson was ready to kind of switch it out and go to get ace, and Jalen Johnson was ready for the contact to have it, but Markkanen just slips out at the last second. Great pass from Nurkic. Easy layup. Using screens and using the fake screen, because they screen so much for him, he's using it to his advantage because now it's like, oh, you think I'm going to screen? We're going to do all these screens? Nope. Now I'm going to slip, backdoor cut, easy. And that's basketball right there. Next, we're on the wing, waiting. Looks like we're going to set low screen. Nope. Do it again. Slip, bang. We did it before. Why not do it again? So it looks like we're going to set a screen for Svi to come off because he's a shooter. So Versace and Jalen Johnson are kind of looking like, oh, shoot, okay, we got to communicate on the switch because you're going to come off. And Versace looks like he's ready to get hit by the screen and send it off to Jalen. But instead, he doesn't get hit, so he's like, oh, wait, what? And then Markkanen just slips back door. Nikhil doesn't even notice it. And we get an easy dunk. Next one, top of the key. Wayne, set the screen. Nope, slip again. We think we're going to saw these screens and stuff. No, sometimes we're not going to. It looks like we're going to set the screen for Svi to come off of because Nurkic looks like he's going to pass it to Svi, and Svi is a shooter. But I said Markkanen just says, nope, I'm going to get around. I'm going to use my size on Isaac because Isaac's like 6'5". I'm like, what, 12? Well, not 12. What am I talking? 7, 8 inches taller than him and bigger than him. I'm just going to give me that one-handed catch, layup. Too easy for me. Now, coming up again, Cody Williams sets a screen. That's just an easy backdoor cut screen. Easy backdoor cut screen. Cody Williams sets it. Patrick Williams tries to get on the body, but Markkanen has the leverage, and he just jams it down. Way too easy on him. Next one, top of the key. Nurkic sets a big screen. Great cut. Nurkic finds him. Layup. So we set the screen. Isaac is trying his hardest to fight around these screens. He goes around, or he goes over instead of under, and Markkanen takes a great angle where I'm sorry, I keep hitting the freaking 30 seconds back, 10 seconds back. He goes over on the screen. Yeah, Markkanen takes a great angle right there. Nurkic makes a perfect pass too. Gets right in the lap. Easy layup. Doing it again. That's just what we're doing against the Bulls. That's just a cut. That's not even a screen. That's just a cut. That's just Josh Giddey catches Josh Giddey lacking. Where it's a great action too because Collier's coming off, hand off to Kevin Love. It looks like Markkanen is gonna go like maybe set a screen or do something. There's gonna be some kind of action. Markkanen instead he just literally a rim run because it's like Josh Giddey's what 6'6". I'm 7 foot. I'm 6-7 inches bigger than him. I'm just gonna go and dunk it or lay it up and one because I know he's not gonna guard me. He can't. He can't stop me. He's gonna have to foul me. Now we have isolation. These are a couple isolation plays that he runs once in a while to show that he can still kind of do this. So the first one, we get a little post catch right, in the mid range baseline area, facing up on Pascal, jab, boom. Look at that jab step. That was a filthy jab step a little bit. Look at the jab step, just bang. like put Pascal in the matrix and just pull up for a mid-range jumper. You know, the mid-range is still alive today's NBA. Next, he gets another post catch on Pascal again, back down, spin move, reverse lay. You know, don't forget I'm 7 foot. Do not forget I'm 7 foot. I can still be able to catch it in the post. You know, look at all the rim he's got clear out for him. He just uses, you know, his momentum, get the spin move, get the easy reverse lay. You know, I think this is the last play. No, there's one more play after this. Facing up on a smaller Io DeSumo. Face up, jab step, post spin. Your contest doesn't matter. Your contest doesn't matter. It's all about if I make the shot or not. Really, your contest doesn't matter. It's just too easy. You know, again, don't forget he's 7 foot. He can do this too. Last play. We're in OT. Get the switch. This is our only ISO we're going to see against Vucevic. 1-on-1. Stop. I know I could take him to the basket. And this is just an insane like, honestly, that wasn't even horrible defense by Vucevic and the Bulls. So he used, you know, drive to the rim. Goes up. That's just like, that's just insane shot. He had like, what, 40 at this point. So, like, that's just, I'm on a heater. That's just like, it goes up like double clutching. The ball is right here when he's halfway through the air. And he just throws it up and it goes in. That's just nuts stuff. But that's it. Yeah. So again, like, you know, so look how simple that was. All those shots were literally catch and shoot, off screen catch and shoot, one dribble drive, backdoor cuts, and off screen cuts. And then once in a while, you get a little bit of a post touch, ISO, face up, mid range jumper. But besides that, like, that was so easy. You know, and again, having a 7 footer that's capable enough to do all this is insane. Like, Markkanen is having such an insane start to the year. He's been on all-star level status so far. We'll see what happens in a trade. You know, maybe he could be a trade candidate. You know, with the way he's playing right now, he is hooping. The Jazz really put him in a great position to really shine, and I can't wait to keep watching him play because, man, it is so interesting and, you know, special to see a guy like this go out there and hoop the way he does. Hey, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn on notifications, doing all the stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. I'm thinking about making this maybe more of a regular weekly series where I take a player and we go through the tape and look at some of these things. Let me know down in the comments below what players you would like to see, guys that are breaking out, guys that are doing their thing or whatever. You know, let me know. I'd like to do this a lot more because I'm really enjoy doing videos like these. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.